me, mayohosko, coming to you at 60 frames per second in 4K resolution. No sugar, no filler, just real whole egg, and welcome to my channel.
Mayohosko, it's your boy, JP.
Real whole egg. Everybody say real whole egg. Real whole egg.
Real whole egg.
Real whole egg.
There we go. Capture that, Mayo. That's for you. That's for you.
Everyone say real whole egg at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Real
whole egg.
Sweet. I'll cap that and then add it to the intro.
That's kind of fucked up, though. It's a little off-centered.
Everyone on the panel say it at the same time. Okay.
Oh, okay.
What are we saying again?
Real whole egg.
Whole egg.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Real
Whole egg. Close enough.
Well, if you don't mind me saying, a little bit of no sugar, no filler, a whole lot of real whole egg coming up on these Fridays.
Hello, Miss Zambi here, saying real whole egg. Mayohosko channel. Go check it out.
Real whole egg. There we go. I don't know what else you want. Wait, why am I... Are you talking about like what goes well with mayo? Also, how did you even come up with the name Mayohosko? Like, do you just love mayo? I don't know.
Rolling into the chat, we got to give a shout out. No sugar, no filler, just real whole egg. Splat out. That's what I'm talking about. Mayohosko. Two whoop salute, Mayo. Welcome to the jankiness.
For Mayohosko, I give you a real whole egg. Wait, where did all these other eggs come from? What in the name of the Emperor is going on?
Everyone make sure to send in your videos of saying real whole egg and I'll add you to the intro. Thank you.
Oh, hello. It has been a very long time since I did an early morning mayo, but my employment contract expired and I've got a busy week of putting my sorted Lego away. I've been working really hard since my last live stream of trying to put more of this stuff away, and I've had a very inconsistent sleep schedule. And I got my Lego Master Builder pajamas on, and I'm ready to get the day started. So let's get the banner and let's get some music going in the background and we'll see who turns up today. Let's adjust this. There we go. And do we have anyone so far? Yes, we have secret squirrel bricks. Hello, squirrel. It says hopefully no one is holding mayo today. Well, I actually just came off helping to move some boxes of fine china into the shed. So yes, I did get held up again, god damn it. Yeah, so this is just a warning for whenever I schedule a stream. I might have to go to my phone and delay it back 10 minutes at a time, or I might end up cancelling my streams altogether, just in case my parents need me. Because since I'm not working right now, I told my parents, hey, if you need an extra pair of hands, if you need some heavy lifting, then just let me know and I'm willing to help you. Because we're going to move out of this house in December. And hello, Nate, Mr. Blue. So there should be the pinned invitation up in comments if anyone chooses to join us today. But I'll be continuing to sort Lego, and the more people come into the chat, the more spiels I'll go on. Because I feel that it's important to document my journey of cleaning my room before we move house, and my progress in sorting Lego. Alright, let's get to it. So I need to get some drawers out, and after the stream is over, I need to put some new labels onto these things that I sort. So I hope all of my American friends had a good Labor Day. We'll be having our own Labor Day sometime next month. I'm just checking something really quickly. Yeah. Yeah, so I hope everyone enjoyed their long weekend, to all of my American viewers. I'm surprised there were some TV shows that still ran because of Labor Day today. And so I hope everyone likes my pajamas. It's very in theme. So I have these hinged plates that I need a new section for all of my hinge plates. And the new pab cups I bought over the weekend, I need to filter them into my parts collection, but that's not going to happen until I clear off this table. So what I did after my live stream on Saturday night in North America is I unconsolidated some pieces in my collection, because some of my panels and some of my textured bricks were getting overcrowded, so I decided to utilize one of the extra drawers I bought on eBay for them to occupy. So I went through some of them and I found new homes, and I decided to combine a lot of my 1x3 panels with the 1x4 panels, because I don't have as many of them, so it made more sense, in my opinion, to have those consolidated. And we have Macro Bricks. Hello, Macro. Yeah. So I am just all over the place right now. Oh, okay. Yep. Maybe my voice is a little bit lower because it's early in the morning and I'm not speaking off of my chest enough. Maybe that's the case. When I wake up in the morning, my voice isn't as loud because I literally only just woke up. Normally, I am awake for an hour before my streams normally start. I wanted to get this day rolling, and since I've had a hectic last 4 days, enjoying time with my friends and getting into the nitty-gritty of the remnants of my sorting party, the aftermath, so to speak, I need to motivate myself to wake up early and doing a live stream first thing when I wake up is a good source of motivation. So we've also, so we've got those 3 people watching right now, and if anyone out there isn't doing anything right now, and you wanna add anything to the conversation, you wanna join the panel, there's an invitation link pinned in the comments. I made sure to change this to subscribers only mode before I went to bed last night so that there's no risk of any trolls or spammers coming onto the panel and using the N-word like someone did once upon a time, and they will not be welcomed back. I take racial slurs very seriously. So I need to get out some drawers that are the 1x1 cheese slopes, because I'm going through a lot of my smaller pieces, and the cheese slopes are really creeping up on me. They're really creeping up on me. I need to get out my blues, because I'm seeing a lot of the dark blues and a couple of the regular blues as well. And I'm overfilling with the blacks. So I might need to get a small Pringles can just for the black cheese slopes. I'm not sure, because I bought a pab cup for them a while ago, and I had filled that to the brim so much that it kept on spilling out and the lid didn't want to close, which meant that I had to group my blacks with the whites, because for any part where I don't have enough of it in one colour to have it occupy its own drawer, I like to group them with certain parts. So the 2 greys, the black and the white, the tan with the brown, the red with the blue, the yellow with the green, the purple with the pink, etc. That's a way that makes it easier for me to group these things, and it's easy for me to remember. And not only am I coming across a lot of cheese slopes, but I'm coming across a lot of the quarter round and the half round tiles. So it's kind of all over the place. I cleared away a lot of the big elements that were blocking my access to the smaller elements. That is relative to the rest of my small pieces. Because when you filter Lego through one of the sorting heads, You are still going to get a variety of different sizes. Hello, Zisu. Yeah, sorry. Hello, Zisu. Let's play the theme song that always puts people into a positive mood.
Paradisa, Paradisa, sun is shining all day.
I'm really itchy. I need to get some cream on my body after this stream. I really do. So, I hope everyone's having a good day today. I'm just starting my day. And I need to move some of my Lego out of the way so I can fit these drawers in. Because it's better for me to have drawers of pieces that I'm frequently putting away on my table instead of inside of the drawer units. It just makes it easier for me rather than having to constantly reach up to put stuff away. And now I need the green ones. And since I have so many of the cheese slopes, I can put them all, well, I can have them grouped by singular colors. And I've already had to develop an overfill of the blacks, and I'm trying to group them with the browns. And I did find some of the spiked elements for the crown of the Statue of Liberty brickheads. Because for whatever reason, they slowly came off the crown of the Statue of Liberty. And I had no idea where they went, and they've been popping up randomly throughout my collection as I'm continuing to sort all of this away. And the reason why I want to sort all of this away is because I've got those new Dream sets. The Mrs. Castillo's Turtle Van, the Dream Village, and the poly bag that has Z-Blob and the bunny. And I'll tell everyone why I wanted that poly bag. So 2 weeks ago, it was a gift with purchase if you spent 65 Australian dollars on a combination of Dreams or City and some other Lego things. So there was a Dream set, The Village, which was exclusive to the Lego store. So I bought that online, and I bought some replacement switch tracks because I wanted to buy a bunch of these 16 by 16 plates. They were cheaper than what people on BrickLink were selling them for. So it's very rare I find elements where it's actually cheaper to buy it on BrickLink, but it was cheaper to buy those on Lego.com. So I pulled the trigger and I was able to redeem my coupon for one of the Friends poly bags that has a vibrant coral colored trash can in it. So I was happy to do that. And I think somehow more of these got destroyed, so I need to piece them back together. Fortunately, with the pieces that I have been sorting away, I know there are pieces in here that go to those prongs for the Statue of Liberty's crown. Because heavy is the head that wears the crown. And if you didn't already know, a lot of these round 1x1 tiles are from are from dots sets. They're from dot sets because I bought a bunch of dot sets on sale before they retired, because I knew one day I can really put those dots pieces to good use. They're going to be really awesome for detailing smooth surfaces. And I'm glad I have them in my collection. There are some wacky colours, but I definitely have a lot of the reds, pinks, and whites that I need. Because if anyone's watched some of my Mayo City updates, you know I use a lot of white for my buildings, and having more white decorational pieces means that I can make those buildings look marginally more interesting. And if I can make anything look marginally more interesting, then I feel better about the craftsmanship of any given building in my city. Green. Yeah, there we go. It ain't easy being green. So not only am I seeing a lot of those round tiles, and not only am I seeing a lot of G-slopes, but also a lot of the regular shaped tiles. So I have so many of the light bluish grey that I'm temporarily keeping them in a small Pringles can, because I know I have so much of it. But I keep my 1x1 tiles both round and square with my 1x1 plates round and square. I don't have enough of them yet. But if I do end up with a lot of them in the future, then I'll have to buy more drawers to store them. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of them yet, so I can sort them with the regular plates. And I'm noticing that I have a lot of the stranger colours as well. And with all these strange colours, I've been thinking about the old video series that Briggsar used to do called Stranger Bricks, which was a parody of Stranger Things. He used an edited version of the Stranger Things intro to do that. And he did confess the only reason that he did that series at all is because he really liked using the Stranger Things intro. That was an old series from a long time ago. I think he did that when season 2 of Stranger Things was airing, if I'm correct. So that's how long ago it was. Yeah, I have a lot of nostalgia for old videos on YouTube that were made before Adpocalypse. And if anyone knows what Adpocalypse is, then you get a veteran's discount. Let me get out some more drawers. I need these. This is what I need. The tan and brown. Tan and brown. And I do have enough of these where I do separate the tan from the brown. So let me also get out the brown. And because I don't have chunks of the brown, I do group them with the pearl gold. Because I don't have enough of the pearl gold to keep them all together. And I also throw in some of the nougat colours as well. So if there's any colour combination that you always do when you sort Lego, feel free to let me know. I like comparing how different people sort their collections. And I do notice time to time that I've ended up putting pieces into wrong drawers simply because when I created new drawers to unconsolidate, there are certain colours where I hadn't done the unconsolidation yet. And that's another thing that's been taking up so much of my time. Not only do I have to unconsolidate a lot of my drawers, but there are colours of pieces where I forgot to unconsolidate them. And hello, Red Coat Kyle. And if anyone can hear noises outside my room, I apologize about that. Because I try to put enough of a buffer in my room where no one hears that, but it's not always preventable. So I apologize if that does get through the audio. And since I'm just putting pieces away, I don't need to put up, well, I didn't feel compelled to put up any of the fancy graphics. And so if there's any specific questions that anyone has about everything I've been doing since this weekend, feel free to ask away. Or if anyone wants to start an entirely new conversation, I'd be more than happy to engage in any conversation that anyone wants to talk about. Because there's only so much you can talk about while you're sorting Lego. Have I started sorting those? No, I don't think I have started sorting those. But I should probably start sorting those. And also, since I bought my yellow drawers up on top of my table here, I have been able to put away some of the curved elements that I have in my collection. And I've begun to realise I have a lot more of the Unikitty tails than I thought I did. Yeah, for some reason, I have a bunch of different colours of the Unikitty tails. I think it's because of the Unikitty series, collectible mini-figure series, or something, and also a lot of unprinted ones. I think some of those might have come from the Building Better Thinking or something. Because I'll give you an example. This is one in magenta on the left, and the other is one in the dark pink on the right. And the dark pink one has the bright light yellow printing on it. Secret Squirrel, you have to be logged into Streamlabs to gamble, because you can't buy tickets to enter the giveaway without accruing exclamation mark jars. So that's a Streamlabs thing. You have to be logged into Streamlabs to enter the giveaways, and we'll be giving away something before I move out. And Mark, I need to confirm that your address that you sent me a while ago is still the same address, so I can box up the package that I have for you for your giveaway winnings. So I've still got Shang-Chi ready to send you, as well as another mayohosko. Because if anyone doesn't know, I have way too many minifigures in my collection, and I'd like to give away a bunch of minifigures, most notably my Sig Fig. And I have no idea why, but the post system fucked up my shipment to Nate Mr. Blue. So hopefully you contacted your local post office and tried to see what was up about that, because I shipped that out when I was at Brickworld Chicago. I also sent something to Alex Nunes, and he got his package, but for whatever reason, Mr. Blue didn't get his. So I have no idea why that happened, and since I'm not in the US, I can't ask the United States Postal Service, hey, what's up? Where's my package? I can't do that. So unless the post office gave you an answer, when I go to Brickworld Chicago next year, I'll have to send out another one. I'll be bringing Sig Figs back to Brickworld Chicago for even more trades with people who I haven't traded with yet. And I definitely know that there are some people who didn't go last year that are going this year to Brickworld Chicago in 2024. So if you're going to Brickworld Chicago 2024 and you don't currently own a mayohosko Sig Fig, let me know, and if you have your own Sig Fig, we can figure out a trade. But if you don't have a Sig Fig, work out something else that you can try and exchange with me. And hello YOLO X, what's up? Yeah, we've got a few cool people here right now. But there are definitely some people out there who I know don't like me anymore or think I'm dead, because I have not seen their names in my chat in a long time, and they used to be regular viewers of my channel. I know who they are, but I'm not going to name names because that'd be rude of me. I apologize for the noise outside my room. Yes, I have no idea why, but I hadn't yet previously shifted my brown and nougat key slopes into their own section. No idea why I didn't do that sooner. But for the rest of the week, I'm sure I'll find other colours that I have not yet unconsolidated or moved into other drawers. And sometimes the wrong colours get put into wrong drawers because I have so many trays on the table at once that I go to drop something somewhere and I accidentally drop it in the wrong area. Because if you've also had that experience, let me know. So I know that I'm not the only one. And I'm not sure what to do with my cheese slopes that are the 1x2s, because I don't have a lot of them, but I probably do have enough of them to separate them even more so than what I've always done. So I'm going to have to go back and forth with myself about what to do with those pieces. 1x2 cheese slopes. Now I need to get the dark one. And another reason why I'm keeping the light grey out from these right now is because there are some immediate rocky details that I want to build for some of the sidewalks and maybe a little bit of train ballasting in my city. So since I have an immediate use for those, then it's not worth me putting them away into separate drawers. If I know, yes, I have a specific plan, I'm going to use these within 1 month. If I don't have a plan to use these within 1 month, then they can be put away into their own drawers. And YOLO's saying, Lego clicks, sheesh, but I came to say I have some technical stuff that I'm saving for the sorting stream. I'll let you know when we get closer to that one. Yes, because the November sorting party will be the last one in this house. The February sorting party will be in a different house. That'll be in a different house. They'll be moved out. Oh, yes, here's another one of the Unikitty tails. This one, it's in a bright light orange. And yes, I go by the Bricklink names for the colours. Because I like the Bricklink names much better than the actual Lego colours. And Bricklink came up with their names before Lego came up with their names. Because for the longest time, Lego just assumed that people could make their own assumptions about what the names of the colours were, because they didn't have as many colours. But then come 1997, when they really expanded their parts inventory in the lead up to the juniorification era of Lego, as some people like to say, particularly in the town thing. When you had Town Juniors in 1997, then you had City Centre from 1998 to 2001. Then they kind of stopped doing town sets in 2002, but they still kept that same consistency of juniorification. And it bled a little bit into 2003 because they were undertaking a massive identity crisis to the point where they had to get a new CEO to steer the ship. And that's what they did. They made those drastic changes for the better. They got rid of all of the bad, ugly, juniorized pieces, as some people like to call them. And they went back to the old techniques of complexity because their efforts for juniorification did not work. It did not work. It failed. It clearly failed. And aren't we all glad for it? Well, that was just an empty door. You gave me a heart attack for a second there. Because I thought that was a full door. I've dropped full doors so many times over the past 5 days. And also I've dropped so many pad pups over the past 5 days where I don't even break a sweat anymore. I'm like, yep, that's gonna happen. Let me just pick this up. I just get used to it over time. Yes, so it's 10:33. I have some things to do in Forge. Hello, Dusty Bricks. What's cracking is I'm waking up in the morning to do a little bit of sorting because for the whole of this week I'm trying to put in 12-hour days, trying to sort as much Lego as possible because I'm doing a lot of spring cleaning this spring because we have to move house. Therefore, I have a lot of things that need dusting down, and I need to decide upon a lot of things in my collection, what to keep, what to sell, and what to throw away. And I have a lot of collectibles that I want to put on the Facebook Marketplace, particularly wooden railway stuff that I don't need anymore. There are some things that I don't even want to attempt to use for scrap parts. Putting the scrap yards on my railway, I just want to straight up sell them because that stuff can be sold, but there are some things that have broken wheels that probably can't be sold and probably do have to get thrown away. Exactly. I don't want dusty bricks, I don't want dusty wooden trains, I don't want dusty model trains either. And I also don't want any dusty die-cast cars. I do have some die-cast cars in my collection. I collect die-cast Volkswagen camper vans. Doesn't matter what manufacturer it is, I collect it. Because I've got 2 rather cheaply made die-cast cars that have pullback loaders. And then I've got a larger one that's a more authentic colour scheme, what you'd see on the roads in the 50s and in the 60s and the 70s. That's a little bit bigger, probably half a scale up. Well, yeah, because if anyone knows the logistics of die-cast cars, you know that when you scale up die-cast cars, there are some scales that are half, that are 1.5 times as big as the next scale down. Hello, Miss Ingrid Briggs. Nice to see you here. There are some people who I have not seen in my chat in forever. And it's because they either don't like me anymore, or they think I'm dead, or they are so busy in their lives that they don't have time for me. So everyone that decides to turn up in this chat today, you're all good in my books, and I appreciate your views. And if you appreciate listening to my soothing voice as I wake up in the morning, perhaps you might want to click that like button. And if anyone wants to join the conversation, if they're not busy right now, and talk with me on the panel, there should be an invitation link in the chat. Because I don't enjoy sorting, it's a necessary evil, so I have to do it. And being able to listen to podcasts while I sort definitely helps me get through a boring, monotonous task. And it makes it more enjoyable. Y'all are saying, oh Mayo, if you want to discuss creator versus VW cars, LMK, I'm not sure if that's a typo or not. I don't know what that means. And Dusty coming in with the dad jokes. This is the afterlife. It's hell sometimes. Missing Good says it's too hot in my Lego room for me to join. Phone problems. Yeah, I know a lot of people in your same situation. The more times I see people in the chat, the more times I see people in the chat, the more people I see that have problems with their phones overheating, either because they have an old phone, or because they don't own a computer and they do everything out on their phone. Thanks for the clarification. LMK is let me know, and Dusty, I know, right? Yeah, so I did not know that acronym. LMK, let me know. The more you know, and knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. Well, Yolo, if you want to come on to the panel, I'd love to discuss Volkswagen cars, because Volkswagen and Ferrari are my favorite cars to collect, whether it's in Lego or whether it's in die cars. My brother was born in 1985, so he grew up watching Formula One when Ayrton Senna was still racing before he crashed at the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. And because he witnessed Ayrton Senna, he's told me that he thinks Ayrton Senna is the greatest of all time. I think Michael Schumacher is the greatest of all time. And I always like to pick fights with Formula One fans of today that say that Lewis Hamilton is the GOAT. And I have two distinct reasons why I discredit Lewis Hamilton's championships. One is because Michael Schumacher didn't need a DRS, which is an acronym for drag reduction system, to overtake people, and they had to, well, before Lewis Hamilton won any of his championships, they actually had to stop at the pits to refuel their vehicles. Eventually, they changed the mechanics of the Formula One cars, where they increased the fuel capacity so that for the length of any race, you do not have to refuel. I think the reason they changed that is because they were having so many pit crew over refueling the cars, and oil leaked into the paddock, and there was more fires than what there needed to be. So I think they were motivated in a lot of ways to cut out the need to refuel their cars, and I don't agree with a lot of that, simply because I watch a lot of other racing leagues that still refuel their cars, and we have YOLO backstage. Hey YOLO,
Can you hear me?
yeah, we can
I
hear you.
don't know how long I have, but you said VW cars, and
Yes.
my family has been into VW cars.
Oh,
for a
nice.
This is my dad's car.
That's a nice cherry red. That's not a Beetle. That's a different.
It's a
model.
VW Pan. It's he likes Carmen Gias, but my friends, they all have buses and they have.
Oh,
VW
I'd love to hang out with your friends, being in one of those buses.
Oh, I wanna in the sorting stream, maybe I'll get into the car and I'll do the stream from there. That or the Porsche, because it's got good acoustics in it.
Oh yes, you said Porsche. That is actually the correct name to pronounce it. So many people think it's pronounced Porsche, but all of the posh people who own Porsche, who own Porsches will let you know, hey, it's actually pronounced Porsche. So yeah, you're one of the people who knows about that.
Oh, this is not fair. I got some old die-cast cars.
Oh,
This is a
is that
Porsche.
one of the old Lego HO scale cars?
If it is, I would lose my. It's a Tootsie toy. I want some of those.
Yeah, because those are really expensive, definitely compared to other die-cast cars
They're so dusty.
that are not Lego, that are sold today. Because Brixar has done lots of hauls over the past 10 years where he's bought some of Lego's HO scale die-cast cars, and the only reason why they are so expensive is because they have the Lego name underneath the chassis. That is literally the only reason they're so expensive, is because they're name brand.
I think this one is the older one.
Yes, that's the T1 camper van from 2012 or something.
Big
I
crease.
forget when they came out with the T2 camper van.
Oh, when they put all of the pieces on the side of the box for you. Oh my gosh. This thing was creased up because we put it in our suitcase. We got this from the Rockefeller store in New York City, and I met the New York City lug when we got this. That was really cool because I used one of their discount codes for this for a AFOL day. And then Lego made this one. I don't have the old one. I really wish I did. This one is a classic. Another VW.
Yeah, that's the 2015 Volkswagen Beetle. Hello, Mikey J Productions. We're just geeking out about Volkswagen cars. But if you want to come onto the panel and change the conversation to talking about pirates or castle, be my guest, literally. Yes, it is. It is haul time, Dusty. And speaking of haul time, I just wanted to remind everyone that I bought a lot of stuff, and for over the last 2 weeks, and all of my pledges on Patreon have early access to a home video / rant about some stuff, because I'm going to be doing a home video next week where I rant about Lego Switch tracks over the past 45 years. So get ready for that, because I'm just gonna confess, I absolutely hate haul videos. So if I am going to watch a haul video, it's because someone makes their haul videos interesting. Yes, we are moving at the end of the year, which is why I'm going to crank up my efforts to sort, because the more pieces I can put into drawers, the less of it is hanging around, which means I can get to stuff and put it into moving boxes. So I'm going to keep on showing off my hauls and all of my streams when I get enough people watching. So we have acquired the Dreams Village, Mrs. Castillo's turtle van, a new box
That's a
of...
VW, isn't it? This is the turtle van.
Yes, it is,
Love that.
which is one of the reasons why I wanted it. And if anyone's watched my Lego City updates, you know I have a lot. Well, you know I have two combi vans in my city. Yeah, so we've got the switch tracks that I'll be ranting about. We got the Dreams polybag with the Z-Blob and the bunny, and so the reason why I wanted to spend the money with to get this as a gift with purchase is because none of the Dream sets I wanted to have the bunny in it, and
It's a gift with purchase.
this is the Friends polybag I was talking about, and I redeemed this from VIP because I wanted that bad boy right there. I collect sets that have the vibrant coral and colored trash cans. Doesn't mean I'm going to collect everyone, but a lot of sets that come with them, I will be buying them.
Before I go, I want to say one of these things is not like the other. Where are the pieces on the side of the black box? We don't know. They're gone. Bring back this. Okay, that's it. I'll see you, Mayo. Love you.
Yeah. And that was YOLO, everybody. Dusty says, you put Lego into boxes and write Lego on the box. Sorted. No, that's not how I'm going to do it. Because I'm going to take the time to get organized and clean at the same time. That's my efforts for spring cleaning. I wish it was as simple as that, but I want to take the time and the effort to multitask at the same time. Because I have way too much unsorted stuff. Way too much. Should probably get out the red now. Let me get out my red tiles. So not only have I been doing a lot of unconsolidating, but I've also been moving around my drawers because for some reason drawers were put back in the wrong locations. And as I unconsolidate stuff, I've needed to create more room. And fortunately, I had a lot of open room to deposit new drawers that were created to store specific pieces. So there's a lot of rotation in and out of my drawers right now. And all that rotation takes up time, but it also gives me a better grasp on my collection. Because as I've said before, I need to replenish a lot of the pieces in my parts collection for more of the mocks that I've built this year. I haven't placed a bricklink order in a while now. And so what I'm doing is doing all this sorting will help me understand what parts are in my inventory and what parts aren't in my inventory, because I'm actively creating bricklink wanted lists to help me gauge an understanding of what parts are in my collection. And aside from that, I also need to keep track of what minifigures are in my collection, because I have a lot of duplicates which I do need to sell. And speaking of minifigures, there is a lot of talk about the new Marvel CMFs that are out, and some of you guys are talking about them in the chat right now. I know there was some controversy about a minifigure they omitted, and they had to change it to a different Marvel character because there was some controversy with one of the actors that played one of the characters. And because Lego is such a reactionary company, they always make ridiculous changes like that to their CMF lineups, or they outright refuse to release sets like that Snow White set because of the Peter Dinklage controversy. Even though the Peter Dinklage controversy was built upon hypocrisy, because Peter Dinklage has no problem playing small people in movies. Like, think about Elf, for example. He had no problem playing that corporate suit in the Empire State Building. He had no problem doing that, yet he felt the need to express his feelings about the Snow White. No, sorry, not the Snow White. The Snow White movie. The one that wasn't... See, there's been so many. I don't know what's up with Disney making duplicate movies right now. I think it's because people are approaching Disney and saying, hey, I have a completely different interpretation about your own movie. Can you give me the money to film a Disney movie? And I know there's a lot of controversy about the latest Snow White movie that I'm not going to get into. But all I'll say is that with all the negative buzz around it, people are dubbing it Snow Brown. And if people are dubbing it Snow Brown instead of Snow White, you know something has gone wrong behind the scenes. I'll just leave it at that. A lot of people are ordering the new boxes right now, and this is the first CMF series in the new boxes. And I've heard stories from people where they are at Walmart or they're at Target or Kohl's. That's the Kohl's spelled Kohls, where people are literally ripping the boxes open and dumping the remains, trying to search for the minifigures. They're not just feeling the packs, they're literally ripping the boxes open and dumping them out. I've heard those stories from people who do use the internet, about people who clearly don't use the internet. It's pretty funny the lengths people will go to just to make sure that they don't get any duplicates. It's pretty funny, if you ask me. And so if anyone wants to come on and talk about the new collectible minifigures for the Marvel, whether you think they have good details, whether you think the price is fair, or if it's overpriced, do you like the boxes or do you miss the old bags? I'm always willing to have any conversation that my chat likes to talk about, because that's how you stay engaged with the people who watch you do such a monotonous task as sorting pieces of crap. I mean Lego. Ingrid saying the boxes are not a good idea. Hope they go back to the bags. Somehow I don't think that's going to happen. So I think I've got to do the obligatory YouTube poll right now. Let me Let me do it. Yeah, let me create this poll. No. Which CMF packaging is best? Boxes or bags? This is the great debate in the LEGO community right now, boxes or bags. Mikey J wants Storm, Beast, and the X-Men figures. And I think we know what both Mikey J and Ingrid are going to vote for. And Dusty Bricks saying, I need to sort. How long are you going for? We'll be going for as long as people want to watch. When we get to 0 viewers, we'll end the live stream. We've got half a dozen people right now, so we'll be. I wouldn't be surprised if we hang around for the next 1 to 2 hours. Because normally I don't do live streams midweek for obvious reasons. But I was like, you know what? Let's go live for the sake of it. And so, since I trust people who are subscribed to my channel, because you are not trolls and you are not spammers, the invitation link is pinned. YOLO saying, is the Dreams polybag one of the last polybags? Do y'all think they'll still make them or do small boxes for them? I would prefer them to actually make small boxes for them. And go back to these supplementary sets that they used to do. Dusty's saying, if you don't like it, don't support it. I can't answer the question because I've never bought a CMF in a box. That's a fair call. And I always like it when people say vote with their wallet. I'm definitely going to vote with my wallet and not buy any CMF in the boxes. Because I've been on record for about a year now. I think it's been a year since LEGO announced they were going to switch from bags to boxes for the collectible minifigures. That as soon as they make the transition, I will not be buying CMFs anymore. So I agree 100% with you, Dusty, and I echo that sentiment. Vote with your wallet. If you don't like the CMFs in the boxes, vote with your wallet and don't buy them. And with everyone complaining about the prices of LEGO sets these days, if you don't like the price of something, don't buy it at full price, wait till it comes down. Because people voted with their wallet for sets like the Queer Eye or the Foosball Table or the Black Panther bust. They all went to 40% off pretty quickly. And particularly with the Foosball Table, well, actually with all of those sets, LEGO couldn't give those away. They dropped them to 40% off and people still weren't buying them. That's people power. That is people power. The LEGO community voted with their wallets. Because there's nothing saying we have to buy every single set. And LEGO's beginning to realise that. Although there are some people in LAN and some people who work for LEGO's marketing team who openly admit there are suckers out there who will buy LEGO products no matter what. And so I'm going to have to do a poll about that in one of my, or in my community tab sometime. Do you consider yourself a sucker for Lego? As in, will you sacrifice spending money on a reoccurring payment just to get the latest new set? Or if you're a completionist of any given theme, or if you always buy the sets you want on day one. There's a lot of different ways to consider yourself a sucker for Lego. Personally, I don't consider myself a sucker for Lego, even though I have a lot of it, because I'm very selective with what I buy. And the only time I will ever pay full price for something is if it's exclusive to the Lego store. If it's exclusive to the Lego store, I will pay full price Jones. I will pay full price Jones. And if anyone doesn't know what full price Jones is, that's a reference to a couple of brickheads. I should probably get out another drawer. I should probably put away some drawers where I don't need them anymore, because I gathered a lot of these flags, so I don't need the flags anymore. Actually, I need to split these horns out of there. I don't know why those horns are in there. I gathered a lot of studded string and chains, so I can put them away. And let's see. Yeah, let me split these horns out of here and put these old vintage wheels away. And I don't know what this Unikitty tail was doing in there, because I have a drawer within my curved elements where all of the Unikitty tails go. I need to find where that is, because I should probably put all of these Unikitty tails away before I forget about it. I don't have any plans for the Unikitty tails. I think it'd be cool to build a mock using all of my Unikitty tails to make a really smooth, curved shape. It will be a good dynamic to add to one of my buildings in Mayo City. Because I don't have a lot of curvature, like small curvature in my buildings. I need to remember what I did. Where I put my Unikitty tails. No, I didn't put them in there. Maybe I put them in here. Yeah, that looks like a good place for the Unikitty tails. Exactly. We don't have certified stores. We have stores under master franchise agreements. So that's why the VIP system is independent from Lego.com. There are other countries around the world that also only have stores under the master franchise agreement. Mikey's saying, Wolverine is my favorite, but I like all of the classic X-Men, Storm, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Gambit, Rogue, etc. Great stories there. Some of the Marvel's best, in my opinion. I know a lot of people that really like the Lego X-Men figures. That's why people were really disappointed when that Wolverine mech got delayed for so long, because people really wanted to get their hand on the Wolverine. And before that mech came out, it was almost a half decade. Well, yeah, it was about a half decade since Lego had done a Wolverine minifigure to that point. People really like the Lego X-Men figures. And I can't blame them. They do have some really cool details. Yes, RIP VIP, because VIP is getting absorbed into the new Insiders. All VIP points are transferable to the new Insiders. But it is a little bit of a hassle. But I do understand why Lego's doing it, because that means you'll be able, because they're integrating ideas with VIP with the other thing that Lego does, all into the one system, so that you don't need to go to separate websites to access the program. It's actually smart for Lego to consolidate all of that into the one location. I actually support the move, even though it's a little bit of a hassle to move over. But it's going to be for the better. That's my opinion, and if anyone disagrees with me, please feel free to let me know your thoughts about Lego changing VIP to Lego Insiders. It's the cynic in me that thinks the reason why they changed the system is because they don't want fans and customers coming at them saying, well, I'm a VIP, but you treat me like shit. I want to be surprised if that was one of the marketing moves behind that decision. YOLO's saying, as long as I can use points to get percentage off a set, I'm happy. As long as I can use points to get currency, or to use as currency for sets that are exclusive to the Lego store and I can't buy anywhere else, or if I can get currency from buying Pab cups, or if I can get currency from buying pieces from Lego directly that are cheaper than Bricklink, give me the points. But if it's not exclusive to the Lego store, I'll be taking my business elsewhere, because Lego has set up their business model that way. Because what Lego realized years ago is, hey, we need to structure our business model the way we distribute Lego sets, similarly to how the model train manufacturers distribute their model trains. Because what the model train companies do is they deliberately overcharge for their same models on their own websites as an incentive to get you to buy from the retailers. And I used to question, well, why is Lego always overpriced? And we were talking about that in either one of Jane's set reveal streams on YouTube or one of Jane Brix's build streams over on Twitch. And he went through the reasons why Lego does it that way as an incentive to get you to buy from the retailers. because there's huge money in the contracts that Lego has with their retail partners, whether it's Walmart or Target or Big W or Kmart or Kohl's or Hamleys or Toys R Us, where you can still get Toys R Us, or Maya, or Smith's. I forget some of the other big department store retailers in Europe, and even Amazon to a degree. And I wouldn't be surprised if Lego tries to get a retail contract with Temu. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. And Mikey J is going to bed now. Good night, Mikey J. YOLO saying, when they get rid of VIP points for a bit, that was literally one of the worst times to be an AFO. I don't think I remember that. What year was that from? I do not remember that at all. I do not remember that. Ooh. And just a reminder, with all these different conversations and discussions that everyone has in live stream chats, these are all potential discussion topics that I will be talking about on the new competition I want to start in 2024. I've been heavily inspired by game shows around the world, and I want to create my own game show, so to speak. And it's going to be a competition, and the winner will be announced when we get to 1,000 subscribers. Because if anyone remembers Port City Bricks, you get a veterans discount. And there are some people out there who do remember Port City Bricks. And if you remember Port City Bricks, you might remember that they did a Lego trivia contest back in 2016 and 2017. They didn't end up finishing their Lego trivia contest because they deleted their channel because of adpocalypse. And then they had a soft reboot, but no one talks about them anymore. So they quit again. But that was a really fun thing. It was a weekly game. It was a weekly game show, and it got people talking about it across the whole community. And I want to do my own game show, and it's going to be called Around the Lego. And I'm not one to cover Lego news because I've never felt obliged to need to cover the Lego news. So this could be my way of covering the Lego news, is saying, hey, there's this new set available. This is the part count. These are the minifigs. These are the prices. What are your first impressions? And based upon the complexity of your answer, you get awarded a certain amount of points. And if you say something that's factually incorrect, or if you eventually will create a list of banned words like cliche statements, then you lose points. And whoever gets the most the top 2 people that get the most points from answering a series of questions about newsworthy topics or going back to the past and talking about old Lego stuff. The top 2 point scorers from each episode would go into a showdown at the end, and then they will repeat the same format in a face-off against each other. And then eventually, per episode from that face-off, there will be a winner crowned for that episode. And you move forward into the next round. It'll be like a bracket system. And I did a video. I uploaded a video yesterday talking about this. So if anyone wants further context about my competition, then you can go back and watch my latest video at the conclusion of this live stream. You don't have to be super knowledgeable about Lego. All you have to do is have an opinion. Anyone can have an opinion, but not everyone can be as knowledgeable. So simply having a funny opinion is something that scores points. Because the game show that I want to base my concept of around the Lego upon scores heavily for people who add comedy to their answers. Or if you end up turning your answer into a rant, that adds a lot of points to your answer. And so it's all in fun. It's a game show that doesn't take itself seriously, and it's a game show that deliberately has a lot of inside references. And so there's a lot of different things that we'll be talking about. And if anyone wants to get involved, please either send me a DM or send me an email, because it would be cool if we can get 100 people to register. I need a minimum of 64 people to fill out the bracket. Yeah, I need a minimum of 64 people. And then I'll create an algorithm that will randomly select a bunch of groups of 4 people. And so it'll be a fun concept. And I don't know too many people currently who host Lego game shows. Because managing a Lego game show is very difficult to do. But I'm up for the challenge. I'm up for the challenge to managing a Lego game show. Good morning, Tantra. Oh, good. Everyone's gotta get nutrition. Yeah, I'm just rambling on about certain things, letting everyone know about my new game show around the Lego. And if anyone wants to be a participant in the game show and have some fun talking about Lego, going around the Lego, then either email me or DM me your expression of interest. I have a few people who have already said that they are interested in joining, but they have not made it official yet. What's country saying? Boxes or bags? I'm happy with case any duplicates, CMFs. So you resell a bunch of your collectible minifigures, then go and get more for resale. I know a lot of people who have Bricklink stores, they don't care what CMFs they buy, whether they're duplicates or whether they aren't, because they just, all of their duplicates, they put them in their Bricklink stores. And those are the people who don't have time on their hands in the stores. And if you have a Bricklink store, you can afford to do that. But if you don't, I can guarantee you the people who are actively feeling for collectible minifigures, or who used to feel for collectible minifigures before they switched from bags to boxes, did not own the Bricklink stores. I can 99% guarantee you. Oh, nice that you got the Space Baby. The CMF Series 24 was so good. I spent $180 and bought a whole box of them. And I've still got a lot of spare collectible minifigures from Series 24. So what I probably should do is I should bring them to Brick World Chicago next year and trade them with people. I should do that. I would love for Lego to come out with a kangaroo, but I'm quite happy. I am quite happy with the 8 koalas I have. Exactly, to go along with the drop bears, and you know that we colloquially call koalas drop bears. Our country says, got any extra Space Baby? One Mayo? I might buy them off you, mate. Well, I think I have one. So when I buy my hotel and flight to go to Brickvention, maybe we might have to trade some stuff at Brickvention. I'm definitely going to go to Brickvention. I just need to get my ducks in a row before I can finalize my plans. Since I've been to Melbourne so many times, all I need to do is just be there 2 days before the public days, and then go home on that Sunday. That's probably what I'll end up doing when I go to a Brickvention. So yeah, if you're in Australia and you're going to Brickvention 2024, let me know if there's anything you want to trade with me. Because I'm more than happy to trade sig things with people who go to Brickvention. More than happy to do that. Well, I know so many people out of the state of Victoria that are going to Brickvention that they've convinced me to go to Brickvention because I'll get to see so many people who I've never seen in real life before. And just a reminder, we will be ending this stream when I get to 0 viewers. So if you want this live stream to go on forever, just keep on watching. Keep that browser open. Keep that tab open. Because I'll be sorting all day. Because that's my goal. Sort for 12 hours a day, and I'll be doing pretty good because I've got the time to do so now that I'm only on call at work. They didn't want to outright take me off the books because they know how good my quality is. So if any of their other employees calls in sick or goes on annual leave, then they'll be sure to call me. Say, hey, one of our employees isn't working right now. Can you fill in the workload? And to get $200, or technically to get $150, no, sorry, to get $175 for a working day. That's after paying for an Uber to get there. Then I'd be more than happy to work on call for them. And in good saying, okay, I'll be keeping it open while I sleep. Instead of putting in disease. No, we don't have medieval times in Australia. Sadly. We don't have that here. I need to do a quick inspection to see if I have any gems lying around. Because if I don't have any more gems lying around, then I can put my gems away. Do I have any more gems? I'm not seeing any more gems. Yep, I'm going to put my gems away. I like to put my gems next to my pearl gold. So in that case, and I'm pretty sure I don't have any more of these pieces, so I'm gonna put these back as well. Move some of this around on my table so I can spread my pieces out more to find things. Yeah, and what I should probably do is I should come through this drawer and split all of these wacky colours into drawers where I've started doing the unconsolidating. And Country needs to go because of tennis. Oh, so I guess Country's watching the US Open. And he'll be building one of the Ninjago sets. Nice. Yeah, I've got a lot of treasure chests where I'll be putting those gems in eventually. Exactly. Mind your elbows. Don't get the tennis elbow. I am a sucker for sand green. I am a sucker for sand green. Oopsie, I put the piece in the wrong place. So, if there's any other conversations anyone wants to talk about, feel free to have at it. Because I've talked through a lot of things I wanted to talk about in the past 1.5 hours. If anyone else has any juicy stories to tell, let us know about it. Conjure saying about sand green. Oh, he parted out some sets that had sand green in it. Nice. I think someone's moving some heavy tools outside. Oh yes, the new PAB boxes. I can't wait for them to be rolled out in my Lego store. Because I thoroughly hate the cups. I hate having to carefully stack it in a way where both the awkward sized lid will close and square bricks will fit into a round hole. I cannot wait for the boxes to come out because that means it'll be more economical for me to buy bricks directly from Lego. I did end up buying some small 1x2 bricks from Lego in one of my PAB cups over the weekend. Because they had some bricks in colours that I could actually use, like green and light tan. Normally they have a whole bunch of wacky colours that I have no interest in whatsoever. And Yolo's following up with, I like PAB cups because they remind me of the Bionicle canisters. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of those Bionicle canisters, but I know that they are nostalgic for a lot of people. And there are some Bionicle canisters that sell for a surprising amount of money online, because there's some of the more rarer ones. Although you can still get Generation 2. No, sorry, you can still get Generation 1 Bionicle for pennies on the dollar compared to other sets that were made at that time. Oh, shit. Well, a lot of my yellow stuff fell over. That'll go on the fail wheel. That'll go on the fail wheel. Ugh. Yeah, so what does everyone else think about the gradual switch from the PAB cups to the PAB boxes? Do you think that they're cheaping out using cardboard instead of plastic? Do you like the PAB cups because they're good for storing pieces in? Do you like the fact that you'll finally be able to fit square bricks into a square hole? Are there pieces that you once never bought from the PAB wall because they were square and not round? Feel free to let us know, because not only will I eventually be doing a community post on my channel about boxes versus bags for the CMFs, I'll be doing boxes versus cups for the PAB containers. So be on the lookout for those polls in my community tab. Eventually, I'll probably schedule them for release at the conclusion of this live stream. And since I've got a lot of spare hours on my StreamYard account, because Saturday is the 9th of September, and my hours reset on the 9th of September. So I could go for 8 hours as long as there's a minimum of 2 people watching. Then when we get to 0, we'll end the live stream. And I'll let everyone go on with the rest of their day. But hey, if you're just trying, if you're using my stream as a tool to put you to sleep, or if you're doing chores right now and you need something to listen to instead of the radio, then I'm all for that. There's not a lot of visual movements, so you don't really have to stare at the screen to be able to enjoy this live stream. Just hear the soothing sound of my voice, so to speak. And Ingrid brings up the fact that they're actually recyclable, which is another good thing. I know for sure when I get my hands on those, I will be moving a lot of stuff that is in the PAB cups that I store into those PAB boxes, and I need to go plug in my Mac. I'm filming this on my Mac right now. Because for a stream like this, we don't need the fancy graphics of my OBS virtual cam. Let me go and plug it in. Where's my Mac charger? There's my Mac charger. I need the cable for it. Because the great thing about my Mac charger cable is, since it's the same on both ends, it also hooks into my SSD drive. So when I edit videos on iMovie, after they've finished rendering, I download them to my SSD drive, and that means it doesn't take up storage on my Mac. And I can use that storage for storing video footage of all the videos I made. And now that I'm not working right now, I've, for the most part, edited all of the videos I needed to do for my adventures at Brickworld Chicago. So now I can put all of those videos together into a massive compilation video about Brickworld Chicago. And I still have a bunch of videos about other people's adventures at Brickworld Chicago that I need to go back and watch. I've probably got 3 hours worth of people's content to go back and watch about Brickworld Chicago. Simply because when 1 week after returning from Brickworld Chicago, I got burnt out from videos about Brickworld Chicago. Yes, I did take photography of the stadiums I visited at Brickworld Chicago. And so I'm not going to do a video about the stadiums that I went to at Brickworld Chicago on this channel. It's going to be on my sports channel. So if you go to my About page and you scroll down to where I have a lot of my links, you'll see that I link my train channel and my sport channel. I don't really have a secret sound. Yeah, so I definitely want to do that because it was really magical getting to visit the United Center, Soldier Field, Wrigley Field, and Ryan Field. That's where Northwestern University played. I didn't need to go to the Chicago White Sox Stadium. And I didn't need to go to the Loyola Chicago basketball arena. I didn't need to go to those places. But that's something I definitely should do. I should have a secret sound. And when I host my competition game show around the Lego, not only will I be doing the paper toss towards the camera at the end of each episode, but before I do the paper toss,
I will play a secret sound. And people who guess correctly the secret sound, if they were eliminated contestants, they will go into a draw to get re-entry back into the competition, because you know how those reality TV shows, they like to have ways for eliminated contestants to get back into the competition. That might be a way I can execute that part by having a secret sound. I'll definitely have to remember that. And Dusty's saying, I'm looking for a stadium here called Colonial. Well, Docklands used to be called Colonial Stadium from 2000 to 2002, so 2000 to 2003. Then they renamed it the Telstra Dome. Yeah, the Telstra Dome from 2004 to 2008. Then they renamed it Etihad Stadium from 2009 to 2018. Then they renamed it Marvel Stadium, which is what it's called right now. And the reason why Marvel wanted to outbid Etihad Airways for the naming rights of Docklands Stadium in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, is because they approached the AFL and said, hey, if we are the highest payer for the new naming rights deal, we want to put a Marvel store inside of Docklands Stadium, and that's what they did. And Country's saying, who do you go for in baseball, or do you only follow NFL and NBA? I am a part of Red Sox Nation. So before I went to Brickworld Chicago, since I knew I was going to go to Wrigley Field, I wanted to trigger all of the Chicago Cubs fans in the suburbs surrounding Wrigleyville, because I'm a Red Sox fan, and I took a selfie of myself leaning back on the street corner outside of Wrigley Field, with my feet in the air, wearing red socks. And Country saying Jihad Stadium was meant to be Marvel Stadium. Marvel's Melbourne. I did a cool design of sports stars as Marvel characters. I need to finish drawing it up. Nice. You'll have to show off that artwork when you're finished, if you decide to come back on the panel in the future. And if anyone out there has something they want to talk about, and you're not doing anything else right now, and you want to discuss it on the panel, there is the pinned comment for the invitation if you'd like to do so. Because I'm open to discuss anything that anyone wants to talk about right now. We're an open book. Yeah. Cleveland baseball used to be the Indians, but they changed their name to be the Guardians. And Ingrid needs to get herself a cuppa. I need to make another stack of 1x2 jumpers. I'm seeing a lot of jumpers all over the place. Oh, there's some cherries. There's my food element. That's my foliage, but where's my food? I'm not sure what I did with that. What did I do with these? Oh yeah, they're here. And so as a reminder, if anyone else has any Lego that needs sorting, last night I created an event on Instagram that you can accept an invitation for if you know that you want to join the next sorting party. That's just saying, I love how America ignored the fact they got it wrong. India is half a world away, but they still called their native people Indians for ages. Yeah, that's because they were the American Indians, and there's a whole bunch of history wrapped up in there. I'm just saying I need to make lunch. And he's going to put myself on his lunch. Yes, go get yourself some nutrition, Contra. I'll need to get myself some new nutrition soon. If my stomach starts grumbling, then I'll have to end the stream. If it starts grumbling. I should probably get this raw out because I'm putting away a lot of curved slopes right now. Just get out the whole drawer while I'm at it. Yes, exactly. You've got the West Indies and you've got Indonesia, which was once called the East Indies because of the Dutch East India Spice Company, because they were all on a journey to find India, the country, because they knew that there were a lot of commodities in the country of India. And so they were all on a race to find what they thought was India, because they didn't have any maps back then. They had to sail the ocean blindly in the hopes of finding India, and all the countries along the way that weren't India, they found their people, and they developed trade routes with other countries they weren't even searching for, and they connected the world, and they changed their maps when they found countries that they thought were India but weren't India. Because everyone in Europe knew how good of a country India was, and they all wanted a piece of the action. They all wanted those spices, but they ended up finding other cultivatable objects along the way. And I should know all about this because I'm a geography major. So I know a lot about the history of colonialism and all of the trade routes that were established. And I read somewhere that if you factor in inflation, at one point the Dutch East India Spice Company was worth more than Amazon, Apple, Google, and Microsoft combined. If you take into account inflation, they were worth more than those 4 trillion-dollar companies combined. I think even if you add Saudi Aramco, who the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia floated on the West Asian Stock Exchange, or whichever stock exchange Saudi Arabia uses. Even if you factor in Saudi Aramco combined with Google, Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon, factoring in inflation, the Dutch East India Spice Company would have been worth more than all of them. That's how big the spice trade was. And everyone wanted those spices because they didn't have refrigeration. And spices kept all their food stocks. Edible for longer. It went less rotten if they had spices. So they treated spices almost as valuable, but not quite as valuable as gold. And then when electricity was invented and refrigeration could keep food lasting longer, then that's when the demand for the spices decreased and the value for spices went down. And the reason why Indonesia in particular still is a strong trade route for spices is because Indonesia has a lot of volcanoes, and there are specific spices that grow best where the soil mixes with volcanic ash. And therefore there's not many places in the world where you can easily cultivate those spices. And so those spice farmers near the Indonesian volcanoes, they risk their lives being near a volcano, but they reap the rewards of what they're able to cultivate near a volcano. So I'm not sure if you were expecting for that to be the next spiel, Dusty. So if anyone didn't know any of that pointless information, to you I say, the more you know, and knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe! Yes, let's talk about the metaverse and talk about how their SimCity thing is a complete failure, because no one cares about it. And let's talk about how everyone was proclaiming that Threads was going to overthrow Twitter X, and that totally did not happen, and anyone could see that was not going to happen from a mile away. I think it's funny. I really do. Speaking of Twitter, I need to see Twitter. Well, for whatever reason, I got some tweets that just don't want to go through. It's really weird. It's just really weird. I have no idea what's wrong. It's really weird. I'll have to figure that out after the stream. But you can follow me on Twitter if you also use Twitter. and Ingrid is back. Not only do they want it back, but they want the Chinese yuan to replace the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. That's why the BRICS nations are trying to invent their own currency to surpass the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. If Macro BRICS was here, and if he decided to join the panel, I would ask him what he thinks about the BRICS currency they're trying to invent. I believe the minimum amount you can gamble is 10. So, if you want to be a high roller, you've got to start. You've got to start at the bottom with 10 and then build up. That's why, forever and always, Mr. Blue will be the favourite to win all of my giveaways because he is a high roller. There's a competition in itself between Mr. Blue and everyone else to see who can be the highest roller. And if you're active enough on the mayohosko live stream channels, chats, I should say. Yes? Okay, cool. Well, my dad's going out to get some hardware, probably some stuff for the painting that he's doing. Because he's applying the second coat of paint today. And it's probably not letting you do the highest of 100 because you probably don't have 400 jars. So don't forget, anyone can check the amount of jars they have by commenting ! jars. Coming along a lot of the technique, one long sleeves. Dusty is one of the best persons at dad jokes. Gotta love the dad jokes. Gotta love the dad jokes. I always like the dad jokes because they have to get me thinking, and thinking prevents dementia. So if you want to avoid dementia, or if you know other friends who want to avoid dementia, tell them to subscribe to the mayohosko channel because I'll get them thinking about something. Because I talk about a lot of random crap that is not Lego. Because people prompt those questions in the chat. Reality. Ingrid saying, I have no dad jokes. They went out for milk and never came back. Well, my dad went out to the hardware store and never came back. And I know a bunch of people's dads went out for a pack of cigarettes and never came back. My grandpa used to be a smoker, and then he died. And that's a true sad story. That happened 7 years ago. Now I've freed up this area with this drawer for green stuff. Exactly, which is why I never want to smoke. Smokers are jokers. That's what Ned Flanders, Rod and Todd say. Smokers are jokers. And another dark humor joke I like to say is if you stop breathing, you can go to sleep forever. So if you want to go to sleep forever, stop breathing right now. That is also true. Smokers are jokers, croakers, and coughers. The amount of time I smell people's cigarette smoke on the sidewalk, and I can smell what they've coughed up. I can smell their smoker's cough, and it's absolutely disgusting. If you're a smoker, then I don't need to be near you while you're smoking. But I do know people in the LEGO community that are smokers. And fortunately, they're kind enough to leave the room while they smoke. But most oftentimes, people end up smoking simply because they need a breather. Ingrid's kids want a bowl of cereal. No, sorry. They want a bowl of chemicals. I mean cereal. Exactly, PPP to my sig thing. Well, we do have Scots blocks and macro bricks in my city. So whenever I'm filming a city update, and you can spot the macro bricks or the Scots blocks sig in my city, put the timestamp, spell out their name, and say PPP to them. I dare someone to go back and do that with all of my city updates that I've done. Yes, that's the most important timestamp ever. 4 hours 20. Actually, I believe it's 20. I can't remember if it's 23 minutes or 21 minutes. 4 hours 21 minutes and 17 seconds. I think it is 23 minutes and 17 seconds. I'm just saying, I breathe in car fumes just as bad as smokes. No, I don't drive, but walking around and breathing it in. I actually like the smell of petroleum. I do not like the smell of LPG or diesel. And you know what? Speaking of being a petrol sniffer, I always hark back to the scene in The Simpsons where it's the episode when Bart leads all of the frogs and toads into the streets of Springfield. And the whole town becomes infested with them. And so they have to call in the hazmat team to spray the spray that knocks them out, so they were able to return them to the wild for after fumigating them. And Otto is coming back from a drug rehabilitation retreat. He gets off the bus. He immediately smells the fumes from the spray, and then starts tripping out. That is such a funny scene. That is so funny. And if anyone is a Simpsons fan and you can remember the name of that episode, let me know, because I can't quite remember the name of that episode. Please let me know. Because I'd love to go back and watch that episode on Disney+. And I would love to have that as a cutaway. There are a lot of cutaways I need to add to my live streams, and that is one of them. That is definitely one of them. The Octane Man reminds you to subscribe to mayohosko. I have a lot of cool cutaways, and speaking of PPP, I do have something. PPP.
The weed!
And if anyone forgot, I am a sucker for Cheetos.
It ain't easy being cheesy.
And I think I'm dreaming. I'll definitely be dreaming when I'm building all of those dream sets.
Are you sure this isn't just a dream?
And there are two reasons why I don't do a lot of haul videos.
Get ready for the most frustrating haul opening you'll ever see. Fucking hell, that was hard to open!
And I'm very happy because Robin Hood Bricks is back from his summer vacation. And hopefully we can get more gems like this.
It could just be very simple. to corner the gas market, drive up prices and cause a global recession. Sound familiar?
Yeah. And this is still one of my favourite scenes from any Lego video of all time.
I want your mom.
So when anyone tells a your mama joke in the chat, that's what I'm going to play.
I want your mom.
And if anyone ever complains about Star Wars movies in my chat, or a bad Disney film or a bad Marvel film, this is what I'm going to play.
It was almost like they were designing it to market toys to children rather than actually make a good movie.
And there's a reason why I don't like to stream when I have bad mental health, because otherwise I'll end up like this sad, pathetic loser. And also, this is my response to when any classic franchise starts spindling out of control and goes through a long series of degradation. Yeah, I have these for days. I have these for days. Yeah, it is fantastic because Robin Hood Bricks has a lot of cool small builds in amongst all of the big builds that he does, and he goes crazy with a lot of his interior details for a lot of stuff, and they make for quite entertaining videos. Exactly, it's all on Disney Plus. It's all on Disney Plus. Unfortunately, I share accounts with someone, so I don't have to pay for Disney Plus. Dusty's saying, Mayo, sort the big stuff first. It will look like you've done some sorting then. That's my strategy in the past, but then I was like, you know what? What if I reverse my strategy? And because what I realized is a lot of the pieces I need to use to build mocks are actually the smallest pieces that I have not sorted. So, yeah, I think this might be the strategy going forward now. So I have all of these for days, and eventually I'll have to make hashtags. I'll have to make a series of hashtags for people to use to request any of my cutaways. Like if anyone ever wants for me to just randomly play the Paradisa theme, comment hashtag Paradisa, and we can play this.
Paradisa, Paradisa, sun is shining all day.
You know. Whoa, what did I just drop? Oh yeah, it was a 1x2 blue brick in trans blue, and I've got to charge my phone soon. I don't know what the reference to Coca-Cola is.
I haven't watched an M&R video in a long time. I really haven't. So would I, Ingrid. So would I. Because I don't think it'd be hard to believe that that kid ended up in a mental institution, and he went to therapy for a long time. Because he used to get triggered at absolutely everything, and he eventually got exposed for being a pedophile as well. So good riddance. He's not on the internet anymore. I think I need to get out my pink 1x1s, and they are right here. Yeah, because I'm seeing a lot of pink. And the main reason why I bought so much dot sets is because I wanted pink. There's a specific section in my supermarket that requires a lot of 1x1 pink pieces, and red and white and brown and yellow. So I was super stoked before Dots retired #Dot Squad to find some of the Series 4 Dots packs at 60% off. That was the second biggest deep clearance I've ever bought. The biggest deep clearance I ever bought was the pop-out party bus from the Lego Movie 2. When that was 70% off. I was super stoked to buy all of that. And a lot of it I've been super lazy and have not bothered to sort it. And I'm keeping a rolling stack of these rather useful 1x1 by 2/3 bricks. I have a stack around here somewhere that's always getting buried underneath everything else. And so I know that Contra doesn't have a computer. But Ingrid, do you have a computer? I'm not sure if you have a computer or not. I know a lot of people in the community who don't have computers. And Contra's going to go check the US Open. So if you're able to access the internet, maybe you use it through your phone plan. Because if you use it through your phone plan, then what you might be able to do on a computer is hotspot your phone's internet to your computer. Because when I went on vacation to Brickworld Chicago, whenever I used my computer, I had to hotspot off of my phone's international
data plan. So if you can figure out how to hotspot internet on your computer from your phone's data plan, then you'd be able to use the internet on your computer. Because naturally, if you don't own a computer, then you're most likely paying for internet through your data plan rather than home broadband. Which means if you do somehow acquire a computer, the only way to use internet on your computer is to hotspot off of your phone. I'll tell you what, it's better than doing everything off of your phone, because not only is a phone a tinier screen, but there's also less CPU, GPU, and memory on a phone. And so since everything runs faster on a computer, even if you're hotspotting internet on a computer from your phone because you don't have home internet, then that'll still run faster than doing everything straight off your phone. I know a lot of people who have only recently bought a computer and they pay for 100 gigs on their phone of internet in lieu of paying for home internet, because they do everything off of their phone, and it's cheaper for them to just use their existing phone's internet plan and hotspot that to their computer, because they don't increase their internet usage, they just use their internet on multiple devices. Technically, you are correct, but I'm talking about a PC or a laptop. And since I'm such a big user of technology, the reason why I decided to buy a cheap Mac rather than one of the more expensive Macs is because I knew that eventually I would want to buy a cheap Windows computer. So instead of spending $3,200 for a single high-quality Mac, I spent $1,700 on an affordable Mac and $800 on an HP laptop, which equates to a lesser price than two for the price of one. Because originally I was going to buy a high quality Mac for over $3,000, but then I thought, you know what? Since I don't want to give up the benefits of PC over Mac, I should buy a cheaper Mac and then buy a cheap PC, so I can use the benefits of both the iOS and Windows operating systems, and I can have the best of both worlds. And Dusty's saying, I use max 500 megabytes per 21 days on my phone. It's way more expensive using mobile data for me. I think you meant to say a GB, not MB, because 500 megabytes is less than one. It's half of 1 gig. Yeah, if you do have computers as well as phones and iPads, etc., etc., then it is cheaper to use home internet than to hotspot everything off of mobile cell phone internet. But if you don't have a computer and then you get a computer, then that's the easiest way to go down. So how do you watch so many YouTube videos if you only have half a gig? That's a little bit confusing, because the amount of live streams that you do, or that you host, Dusty, and the amount of live streams where you're in the chat, that would use way more than half a gig in 21 days. So maybe I'm not reading your comments correctly. Yeah, Dusty Bricks is in a family of 5. Half a gig would be impossible. That would be impossible. I'm probably just reading your comments wrong or misinterpreting them, Dusty. Because now you got me using my brain. We'll probably go to 3 hours. We'll probably cut this stream off in 17 minutes. The hours is good enough for today. And the reason why I want to get all of these pieces sorted, put away into drawers, because most of it is already sorted. It's just stacked up. Stuff like this. A lot of this is already stacked up. And a lot of it are pieces that have not currently yet been assigned drawers, which is why doing all this consolidation and unconsolidation opens up more drawers for me to put new pieces into. So you see what I mean by a whole stack of these 1 by 1 by 2/3 bricks. I have a lot of them, and most of them are from my duplicate 90th anniversary castle that I built and then had the pleasure of disassembling. And I deliberately kept certain pieces of the build built because I knew I wanted to use them in my mocks and make slight modifications, and all of that stuff I did back in March and April this year. So I used that to populate the village in my Middle Ages momentum. And if anyone's interested about any of that castle stuff, there's a playlist on my channel where you can go watch videos about me detailing about all the village mocks I built, even my process of building the castle, my mock castle that is. And then I have my whole 24-hour live stream about building the 90th anniversary castle, and I have a time lapse building my 90th anniversary castle as well. So if anyone's interested in any of that castle content, as well as my updates about my Middle Ages momentum, then you can go back and watch those in that playlist. I forget what I did with these tap faucets. Dusty's saying, why do you need internet when not at home? I just use maps basically everything. Oh, okay, so you're talking specifically about your mobile phone. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. that makes sense. Because there are some people who can get away with not needing any internet on their, can get away with not needing any phone internet because they don't use their phone for searching stuff on the road. They just use their phone as a phone. I always laugh at the Simpsons episode where they talk about, well, I don't use my phone as a phone anymore. It always makes me laugh. I know, right? And I'm not afraid to say I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that, Dusty. Thanks for making me laugh. I can always count upon people like you to make me laugh. Because the truth is funny. It's funny because it's true. Mr. Krabs is so cheap, he can't pay attention for dumb crap. Sandy Cheeks' squirrel teeth are so big you could land a plane on those things. And this is a stolen dad joke. I recently got a job at the bank. An old lady customer came up to me and asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her over. It is a shameless stolen dad joke right there. Exactly. When I see people that echo that same sentiment, I think of the old George Carlin skit saying, "Everyone's got a ticket to the freak show. America has a front row seat." And that's why George Carlin stayed out of politics, and he frequently joked about the doomsday of society, because he joked about how the system collapses, and if honesty was taken out of politics, the whole system would collapse. And if honesty was taken out of a lot of things, and if bullshit was taken out of a lot of things, the whole system would collapse. Because he was a self-proclaimed entropy fan. He was a fan of entropy, and he didn't watch the news to be enlightened. He watched the news to be entertained. And so whenever I see people saying, I just observe people doing stupid shit and laugh about it, which is what both Dusty Bricks and myself do, and plenty of other people I know just sit back, watch the world revolve around them, and watch people pay the stupid tax. I'm not going to stop someone jumping off a cliff because they have the right to choose to pay the stupid tax, and if they die, they die, because that was their choice. Everyone's got free will, unless you live in a dictatorship. Everyone has free will. Life is a highway. I want to drive it all night long. It was right. I had hope, but the older I get, I just see it plainly, we're all doomed. And that's why Buttchop 2021 keeps on changing the year at the end of his name to coincide with when the next apocalypse is predicted. Because the Mayans predicted doomsday would be in 2012, then another religion or cult predicted it would be in 2021, and then another religion or cult predicts it will be in 2041. So, as the years go by, and as the predictions for the end of the world go by, Buttchop 2021 will keep on changing his name, which is why he's unofficially changed his name to Buttchop 2041, but his YouTube name still has Buttchop 2021. Because if you go to his live streams, then you'll see that his tag, or that his header is Buttchop 2041, because that's when the next prediction for the end of the world is. And there's probably some betting companies out there who have odds out there, or who have odds open for people to predict when the end of the world will be. And equally, there's probably a betting market available for when World War III will be. Personally, I am betting on World War Z happening before World War III. Because it already happened. That's a movie. I've never seen World War Z. But if anyone out there has ever watched World War Z, please let me know and tell me if it's a good movie. Dude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let it into your heart, and you can start to make it better. So where is this thing? Because I have something for when people say hello to dude. Just forget where it is. Where is it? Oh yeah, there it is.
Thank you for saying hello to Dude Jude 20 in mayohosko's comments. I just wanted to say that wherever he is, Dude Jude 20 says hi. There, you have an answer. Hello.
And Dusty Bricks will forever make that joke because he helped me out with Streamlabs to get rid of that bot. He helped me change my settings. Now it doesn't come up like that anymore. So thank you, Dusty. I was confused about that inside joke for so long that I was angry, and then people explained the joke to me, and now it doesn't bother me anymore. Yeah. I'll let Zissou explain the joke. I'm doing well because somehow we still have 4 people watching. This boring ass live stream of me just sorting and rambling on about shit. Yeah, because whenever someone in the chat doesn't give me anything interesting to talk about, my mind is just a bunch of empty thoughts.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk.
And someone, please bring back Scott's blocks.
PPP.
The
I miss Scott's blocks. I haven't seen him in my comments in so long. I miss him because I have a mock based around his sig fig that I've never showed the world, and it's a mock that coincides with either a dark red or a brown pickup truck that will not pickup truck, pickup ute that I want to build as a part of the PPP trade. I've got something that I built a while ago that uses a lot of the 3 leaf pieces. Some people might be able to guess, but I'm not going to reveal it until I see Scott's blocks in my chat. I'm going to keep it a surprise. Going to have a special reveal to welcome Scott's blocks back, because Scott is a cool cat. And one of the most creative things I've ever seen anyone do with a Lego set is he turned the Friends Botanic Garden glass house into a dispensary. That was so awesome. It was such a creative idea. And so, yeah, we're gonna have to wrap up soon because I'm getting thirsty. And I've put away a lot of really tiny pieces. I started actively putting pieces away at 10 a.m. this morning. It's nearly 1 p.m. now, and I'll keep on going till 10 p.m. tonight, sorting pieces, and I'll be listening to podcasts, both Lego and train related, while I do all of this stuff. Because I'm trying to do sorting for 12 hours a day until Friday. So let's quickly check the poll that we had in the chat. See which one is people prefer boxes or bags. We got 13 likes, which is pretty good for a Monday night stream. Normally on my Friday night streams, I get to 13 likes, but that's when more people are active. There's a lot of people who really should be in bed right now. So let's see the final result. And as I expected, Bags wins by a landslide. There were 10 people who voted, and Bags got 90% of the votes. So yeah, the people have definitely spoken. But that's just the people who have come into the chat today. I'll ask the same for the rest of my subscribers in a community poll either this month or next month. And so we'll have to ask both everyone in the chat and myself will have to ask on the next stream who was that one person that voted for boxes, because I do know a couple people who do actually prefer the boxes. So we're going to end that poll, and boxes lost by a landslide. So who do we have watching today? Let's go back up to the top of the chat and thank everyone, because we've just ticked over 3 hours. So we had Secret Squirrel Bricks, Mr. Blue, Macro Bricks, Zissou Sultan voice. Ooh, baby, I feel right. The music sounds better with you. Redcoat Kyle. YOLO X, who made a cameo on the panel. We were geeking out about Volkswagen cars. Miss Ingrid Briggs. Dusty Briggs. Who else? Mikey J Productions. Go subscribe to him if you want to see one of YouTube's best Lego Pirates collections. Country Bricks Build Craze, who's watching the US Open of tennis. After he put myself on his sandwich for lunch. Still scrolling. And of course, we didn't have any bots today because we put this as subscriber only, which really helps. And that was everyone. So let me see if there's any thing I missed while I was reading all of that. Zissou says I kept walking into the poll. It was obstructing my view. Yeah, that's why I don't do polls all that often. Well, we will have to open an investigation onto that. The super sleuths are on the case. There ain't no trolls in the subscriber only, which is a good thing. That one person that voted for boxes would be wrong. Yes, definitely in comparison to literally everyone else who voted. Dusty's saying, Mayo, the old fence element has no part number or Lego printed on it. How do you know if it's Lego? The old fence element. The old fence element. That must be from a Samsonite set or something, because if it has no Lego on it, it must be from the cellulose acetate era before they switched to the ABS plastic. And for those who don't know, the reason why they switched from cellulose acetate to ABS is because ABS doesn't warp as much as cellulose acetate. And technically, there is no way to determine if a plastic brick that looks like Lego is Lego if it doesn't have the Lego logo on it. The only thing that proves it is if there's any information out there. But if you don't know where to find that information, then you can't technically prove, is it Lego? And Zissou's saying to Dusty, I'm beginning to think Mayo has special Lego senses, much like Spidey senses. Well, you're not wrong about that, Zissou, because one of my special senses is something that you need a college degree to get. It's this really rare special ability that only certain members of the human race have. That only certain members of the human race has. It's called listening, thinking, and remembering. And I am brilliant because I know I'm not. I listen to those who are. And if anyone knows who that is a quote from, then either you like the same stuff I'm interested in, or you follow me on Twitter X. Crisscross applesauce. Sounds like an OHS issue. I'll bring it up at the next meeting. We should definitely have OHS. We should definitely have OHS meetings on all of my live streams. If anyone wants to come on to the panel and talk about any of that stuff, we'd be more than happy to have you. Dusty got 2/3. Can't remember what I'm lacking. Which I'm lacking. You must be talking about. Actually, I don't know what you're talking about. Is it the C? Oh yeah, it's probably the new CMF series. Yeah, the new CMFs. Which there's 12 not 16, because years ago Lego acknowledged they were running out of ideas for their CMF series by capping them at 12 instead of 16, which I think is a good idea, because not only does it make it cheaper to acquire the whole series, but it also means they can put more energy onto their good stuff. Yeah, it's almost midnight for people like Ingrid, and yeah, definitely go get yourself a good night's sleep. Thanks for hanging around so much. Wow. And everyone, don't forget to gamble some of your points. Try win if you can before we close on out of here. And if you miss out the chance right now before we close, you can do it on episode 13 of Real Whole Egg, which will be back to the normal time slot of 9 p.m. on Friday night in North America. And hopefully I'll clear off my whole table so we can build those dreams sets. The village, Mrs. Castillo's van, and this poly bag. So thank you for watching, everyone. See you on the next live stream. See you on the next short, and we'll see you on the next video. Let me turn off the music. Let me turn off the banner. And let's roll the credits.
Thank you for supporting mayohosko Media. Your viewership is very important to us. Tell YouTube you like us by smashing the like button. Let your thoughts be known in the comments down below. Never miss out on any more LEGO content from us by hitting the subscribe button and ringing the notification bell. Stay tuned for live streams every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern in North America, and monthly city updates on the last Wednesday or Thursday of every month. If you like Minecraft and gaming streams, follow us on Twitch, mayo_hosko, no capital letters. Twitch streams every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern in North America. To be in the know, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at real_mayohosko. Have fun with us on our Discord server. Friend us on Facebook and join the fan club group. For business inquiries, email us at mayohosko@gmail.com. For historical inquiries, check out our website. For special community perks, including behind the scenes, voting rights, and early access videos, become an investor today by pledging to us on Patreon. Links in the description. Watch this video recommended to you, or check out this playlist if you missed any previous videos of the same genre. This has been mayohosko, and I am a fan of old LEGO.